Greetings, fellow wanderers. Tiki here,
And Jacob Wile.
and welcome to another boxalicious episode of Wandering Over Yonder, the show we're on a quest to review each and every episode of Wander Over Yonder. And today, we are talking about the episode entitled simply
Yeah.
What's in the box?
It seems that envy is my
What's in the box?
envy is my
What's in the box?
It seems that envy is my
What's in the box?
All right, you get it.
Yep. The box.
The box! What's in the box?
Yes.
Jacob, I swear to God, I want to think that this is a whole fucking meta joke on the what's in the box line. I really want to think that's what this episode is. All right?
I don't think so, but
Just let me have my dream, okay? Let me.
I know. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, so we're talking about the box. Jacob, I'm just gonna get this right out in the open. I think this is probably my favorite episode of Wander Over Yonder so far.
Even beating the good guy, or the good deed.
The Good Deed, yeah, The Good Deed's probably a close second. I might have to rewatch The Good Deed, but I don't know. It's between this and The Good Deed, because this certainly has, there's a lot of trippiness in this episode, for sure, which I admire, but at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know, this episode, it just has such a simple premise. It's like Wander has to deliver a box to somebody, and he can't open the box, but he really wants to open the box. And the whole episode is just like a psychotic meltdown of Wander in, a Brad Pitt very,
What's in the fucking box?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I really like this episode. It might not be as I think what I liked about The Good Deed was basically how high stakes it was, and I think what I like about this episode is how low stakes it is, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get you.
Whereas, the whole point is, Wander, he just can't open the box. It's very simple. It's like the most simple cartoon premise you can think of. But, of course, they do a lot with it. All right.
I think is there something wrong with your mic because it keeps flashing on and off?
Is there? Oh, boy. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't plugged in all the way.
So the idea behind this is that Wander and Sylvia somehow crash into a
Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, my mic was kind of half plugged in.
It's fine. I was just going over the idea of the episode.
Cool. Go ahead.
But so the basic idea is that Wander and Sylvia somehow crash into a snail driving a mail truck, and like they do.
I love how we see the aftermath of that, but we don't see it actually happen.
Yeah, so they somehow didn't see that happening.
Right.
And to help him, they just decided to deliver a box.
Oh, God.
And they've been tasked not to open the box.
What's in the box?
And of course, Wander's curiosity gets the better of him.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Throughout the episode, it's just his struggle to not open the box.
And this episode, I don't know. One of my favorite things about the episode is that he just he very, very quickly slips into insanity when he starts calling Sylvia Boxia.
Yeah, that's the first clear indication that he's gone.
Exactly. It's at this point, it's after a long day of travel, and Wander's just listing off all the possible things that could be in the box. Fortunately, he doesn't list off Gwyneth Paltrow's head. Spoiler alert for 7. But, I'm sorry. That is actually what is in the box that Brad Pitt is talking about. But, anyways, so,
And so Sylvia, tired of hearing it, she kind of just wants him to sing a song. Then he sings "What box? What's in the box?" Then then she just grabs it and smashes the banjo.
What's in the fucking box?
Oh Jesus! But yeah,
okay.
this gotta be this could kind of have that might be looking too deep this, but it could be a kind of how the last one was commentary on internet trolling. This would be kind of these episodes aren't really paired together, right? They're like
yeah. Actually, I kind of want to talk about that because the episode that this is paired with is the hat, and all I have to say about that is the hat plus the box. Hat box ghost. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah.
What's in the fucking box?
All right.
All right. Listen, how this last one was like how the troll kind of was like a commentary on trolling. This can be like a commentary on temptation and addiction, kind of almost. Not necessarily
also,
addiction, but
also
but
unboxing videos on YouTube. No, I'm just
yeah, that too.
I'm just
Also
kidding.
like a commentary on overcoming temptation and things like
Of
that.
course, definitely.
I mean, that's just a small thing. It's not really the big focus. The main focus is like Wander going crazy over
The
a
main
box.
focus is like, hey, let's just simulate an LSD trip, essentially.
Yeah, especially that scene on the train.
Right. So okay,
That's full. That scene on the train is LSD meets pink elephants.
Oh God.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay, so after a sleepless night, as it turns out, they try and get some rest after after Sylvia smashes his banjo to pieces. So, as it turns out, they both try and get some sleep, but it turns out Wander didn't get any sleep because he's been up all night cradling the box.
And he's also been pulling the hair out of the area around his eyebrows, and he's just like slowly growing bald.
It's surprising he didn't open the box then.
Yeah, I mean, to his credit, it's like he has a lot of willpower. He really wants to open the box, but he doesn't.
But it really takes a severe toll
Oh yeah.
on his sanity, basically.
And this episode really is. It's such a fun exploration of just Wander at his breaking point over the most simple goal of all time. Just over one of the most simple premises.
What's in the box?
So they decide to, like Sylvia, trying to get this over with as fast as possible. Probably for her own and Wander's sanity,
Right.
both hers and his. They decide to go on a train to get to Glenn's house faster.
Also, I want to point out they call it a space coaster, but it doesn't really look like a space coaster.
I think it's just like coaster as in like train coaster. I have no idea.
I guess so. I was kind of excited, like, oh, is it going to be like a giant roller coaster? That's kind of cool, but no, it's just a train. Anyways.
Yeah. So what happens is like they get like Sylvia leaves Wander with the box to go get tickets. She really should. This is like she really should have taken the box with her. First of all,
That would have been a good idea. Yeah, you're right.
but I think she just like believed that he could, overcome it. I mean,
Well, and I do think that is kind of a nice little thing with Sylvia throughout the episode is, she does genuinely believe in Wander. She knows that he's struggling, but she also knows that he can overcome it. So I thought that was a very sweet lesson to kind of lay onto this episode. And, on top of like all the silliness and all the like LSD-laced insanity that we get.
I said I do. Like I said, I understand. I said I get all that, and that's kind of where my whole overcoming addiction kind of thing came from.
Of course. Right. Definitely.
I mean, that might not have been intentional, but it's something that can read into it, and that's like another good strength of the episode. It can read into it however you want.
Yeah, right. Like the box could be just a metaphor for so many things.
Like overcoming temptation, addiction, anything really.
Right.
And
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
and overcome it, like use it, and basically the strength of willpower could be a theme of this episode.
Right.
But what happens is like they get on the train, and they're taking a rest. Sylvia's taking a rest, and Wander, has the box still. Well, actually, I've skipped quite a bit.
Well, you skip kind of like the whole fantasy, or not necessarily a fantasy. It's more kind of a foreshadow that he has, like the freak out in the terminal where he sees like the scary, shadowy figures trying to grab at the box.
These monsters, like these aliens, waking up to him. He even made a kid cry.
Right, come on, Wander, come on, get yourself together, man.
But then he freaks out to Sylvia, who tries to calm it down, and she's like, "All right, where are they? Where are they? I'll teach them a lesson." She's like, "They're over there."
Which is
just
kind of interesting given how the episode ends.
Yeah, but it's shown that he might have been just overseeing things a little bit and going crazy.
Right. Again, it's kind of left ambiguous, which is a strength of the episode for sure.
Yep. So now they're on the train.
Okay.
and Sylvia's sleeping. Sylvia's sleeping on the opposite side of the seat. Wander's cradling the box again, trying not to peek inside. He attempts to, but then Sylvia wakes up, stirs a little bit. But when he realizes that she's actually asleep, he actually does open it.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
What does he see inside the box?
He sees a Wander opening a box inside of 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 Wander opening a box, and so on and so forth.
Which leads to what I like to describe: pink elephants meets LSD.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think pink elephants and LSD are kind of the same thing, but I get what you're saying. It's kind of
But if you really want to see something like that later, wait till you get to the void.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll explain the void after we're done with this podcast.
All right.
Okay.
So after that acid trip where Wander is basically drowning in all the possible things that could be in the box.
They actually arrive at their destination. It's finally we can take him up to his house. And then he lives on this huge hill. And then Wander's ah!
Yeah, like I said, this episode really it's kind of like Wander at his lowest point in a lot of ways because he's just really breaking down.
he's that's totally a scream or a groan or a yell that's kind of oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Right. So Sylvia kind of just runs up the hill. She's like, hold on, buddy, we're almost there. This is the final hurdle. And Wander's just he's smelling all the potential things that could be in the box. The box is changing colors. It's again, just very trippy visuals.
Sensory hallucinations.
Right, exactly.
You can
Which I don't know, Jacob. I mean, sensory hallucinations and all that, you might be onto something with the addiction thing because that does kind of sound like a symptom of withdrawal.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, I'm just saying, I'm kind of remembering the train spotting sequence and everything like that, but
it's almost this case is almost reverse addiction though.
Right.
He doesn't know what's in it, but he wants to. His curiosity is getting the better of it, basically.
Okay, so they finally arrive at Glenn's house, and Jacob, I gotta say, I totally called this gag. I was like, oh, they're gonna get up there, and Glenn's just totally gonna be gone, right? He's gonna be out shopping or some shit. But I mean, that's not to say it's not funny. It's just it's very well played.
Nope, they knock on the door and they don't hear anything, but then Wander leads into to find a very tiny, very very tiny note that says "Gone fishing," and then his face. Did you see his face? He's like, ugh!
Yes, absolutely.
That's the ultimate "you gotta be freaking kidding me" kind of face.
It seems that envy is my son. What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
That's the ultimate "you gotta be kidding me" kind of face.
Yeah, definitely.
So down or so, Wander finally breaks down and finally.
You can't box me, boxy, huh? I'm gonna box this box, and there's box and box and box.
Yep. He's gone he's basically looks like a deranged hobo now.
Essentially. And then Sylvia kind of gives the heartwarming line of the episode, go ahead and open it. It doesn't matter if I believe in you if you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah. And the whole addiction support.
Definitely.
So
and
seeing how much she cares, Wander decides to overcome his curiosity and decides just to wait there with her.
Yeah, which is nice.
But then Glenn comes out.
And if you thought this episode was trippy before, this is just adds a whole other layer of trippiness here.
Glenn comes out and reveals he passed the test. and then it reveals that he was one of the masters of illumination.
Like the Glenn character design is actually unzipped to reveal this trippy like alien. Yeah, like you said, like the master of illumination.
And it reveals that some of the other things
was a test, Wander, and you passed.
Like, yeah, that's great. But what's in the box?
The box was a symbol, Wander. Because you did not open it, you earned strength of character.
Like, well, yeah, that's really nice, but what's in the box?
No, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
So, and so he's like,
and then Wander just kind of like just breaks down, like hypothesizing, like it's a pair of socks. It's a pair. Oh, we also missed the pair of socks thing, Jacob. Just really quick. Sylvia's like, Wander, just think of a pair of socks, and that'll keep. It's like when they're in the terminal and Wander's just wondering, you know, like pair of socks, pair of socks, pair of socks, pair of socks.
Yeah. You gotta admire how his voice actor is Jack McBrayer, like his ability to like go crazy with the kind of character.
Absolutely. Oh, I love his performance. Oh, definitely. Okay, so the episode kind of resolves itself where Sylvia's like, all right, look, aliens, look, you stupid fucking illumination aliens, whatever the hell you are. I don't care. I don't care what your moral is. Wander wants to see something in the box, so put something in the damn box.
I think their point of the episode was to teach him strength of will, but it didn't really work.
Right.
Yeah. Though they like gather like some like so they gather some odds and ends, they put it in the box and show it to Wander, and they're like, little Betty, a paperclip, a world's best grandpa keychain, and some hard candy.
And a piece of string. Don't forget about the piece of string.
Well, of course.
Okay, thanks. See you later, fellas.
Opens the secret compartment of the box.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on. That's a good episode. All right.
And then the episode concludes with the...
I didn't know you were... I didn't know you were Grandpa. Well, you never asked me about my personal life.
Okay, so really, really fun episode. I mean, I think this is probably like pretty much toe-to-toe with The Good Deed for me. Maybe The Good Deed is probably a little bit more ambitious than this one was, but like I said, I think the thing I like about this episode is kind of the lack of ambition, kind of how it's such a simple premise. It's like the most bare-bones premise, but they get so much done with it, and that's why I think this episode really is kind of genius in a way. This is really one of the Wander Over Yonder episodes, I'm sorry, that I can walk away from and be like, man, that is something that they did in this cartoon that I've not really seen done before in animation, which is something I can kind of applaud.
It is pretty interesting premise in its simplicity.
All right, so any final thoughts, Jacob?
Yeah, well, I do say this is a very, 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 very fun episode to see. I mean, like, in a crazy way, it shows Wander's Wander dipping down and becoming, like, you know, crazy. Which is always fun to see. And I said even has a good message about overcoming willpower, and not overcoming willpower, but you know, using willpower to overcome any obstacles and things like that.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of like an overall theme of the series, really.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we will be back, folks. Wander Over Yonder we're kind of pumping these out because Steven Universe is coming out with episodes once a week instead of once a day now, and Star Wars Force of Evil is on a hiatus. So we're going to be pumping out these Wander Over Yonders a little bit more often because people seem to be responding very well to animation discussion on this channel. So we want to fill that. We want to fill that quota. So. All right, Jacob, thanks for joining us. And in the meantime, until we get to the hat, later, haters.
Don't open any. Make sure it's box.
No, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?